Hey everybody, I'm back again. Thanks for joining us again. I wanted to give you a quick update. We finally got a couple of our systems done. Again, this is going to be our NFT system that's set up here. And then over there we got a tower. We don't actually have these hooked up yet, but at some point we'll get them put together and hooked up and running, and then we'll show you when our plants are ready to get transplanted in there. But I really just wanted to come back down and give you an update on our plants. So we're at about day 5 here on our plants, and as you can see, these are my lettuces. I've got my iceberg, my Vivian, and my bib lettuces. So after 5 days, as you can see, they're grown quite a bit. I took the dome off a couple days ago, and I did my first little bit of quarter strength nutrient, or I think we did a half strength nutrient solution. As you can see, it's kind of down there a little bit for some leaching. I'm bottom feeding my plants, which is recommended at this stage as opposed to top feeding. So they look pretty good. This is our first go round with hydroponics. So like I said, we're new, we're learning. There's a little bit of stretching, as you can see, with some of my iceberg lettuces. The stems are a little long. Ideally, they should be probably more like this one here. A little bit smaller, stronger stems. It's not too bad, but I think where I went wrong with these is I didn't get them under the light soon enough, so they started stretching. But we're going to try and grow them anyways, just to see the quality, and we're going to compare them against those that have stronger stems and just see you know, how well they come out. But I just wanted to give you an update. As you can see, I've got it about a cool 70 degrees on my plants. I've got a fan running here, which is recommended to keep the temperatures. Without the fan, I think this light gets it up to about 77, which is pretty hot for lettuces. So I've got the fan blowing to keep it down the temperature a little bit. And as you can see in this cup here, I've got my tomato plant finally sprouting. I don't know if you can see it very good there. I have this plastic over it because I'm kind of trying to harden it off to the humidity. As you can see, my humidity is kind of low here. It's only 38%, but it's used to humidity that's closer to, I want to say, at least 70 or 80%. So I'm going to try and wean it down off the humidity. So I just kind of put the bag to get the humidity down a little bit. And soon I'll just take it off completely and let my tomato plant grow with the others. So that's just an update. I've thrown in some Tom Thumb lettuces that's in this container here. And I've got pepper plants in here. They're just not doing anything yet. So as they start to sprout, I will give you guys an update. But just wanted to give you a quick update on everything, see how everything's going. As you can see, this is going to be our grow area. We've got it all boiled off for the reflective light. We still have to get our grow lights up, but all in all, it's coming along. So I'll get back with you again and give you another update as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Hi, and welcome back, everybody. I'm back to give you a little bit of an update. So as you can see, we finally got most of our systems finished off here. I'm just going to show you quickly. We have actually about 3 different systems that we're going to try and run at one time, because we are trying to test them out to see which one is going to be the most efficient for growing, or if they're equally efficient. We've read about the NFT systems, we've read about the bucket systems, as well as the towers and the deep water cultures. So we've actually built a small scale of each one, and then we're going to get ready to run them. So this is our grow area. As you can see, we've kind of got it boiled off here for the reflective light, as you can see, and then we've got our grow lights up. This is our nursery for now right here, but it is going to eventually, the light will eventually get moved up, as we're going to be growing one of our Dutch buckets under that light. So for now it's our nursery, but eventually we're going to move the nursery and use that as our grow light for our plants. Okay, so as you can see right here, we have our Dutch bucket system. We have one here, and you can see right here how we've got our system running all the way across. and it goes back behind our deep water culture back over here and connects to this bucket here. So we're actually only going to be doing 2 plants right now. We're going to do our pepper plant and our tomato plant in the Dutch buckets. And then in the middle, as you can see here, we have our NFT system, and we have enough to run 8 plants, I believe, in that system. We are actually going to be running our NFT system out of this big old 30-gallon bucket here. And then we have, of course, our deep water culture system, which is right here. I don't know why this is there, but here's our deep water culture system. We actually are only going to run about 5 plants out of here. But as you can see, we don't have the nutrients in here yet because we're not quite ready to start running it. But if you look inside of here, you can see we have our line running, which is going to be where our air stone is. Right there, if you can see that plastic tubing. We're going to attach our air line there. And then we just have a really small air stone or an air pump that we're going to use. And we're also going to run another air line into our NFT system as well. So this one pump, as you can see, has 2 outlets. So we'll be running 2 air lines into both systems. So yeah, we did finish a tower. We weren't sure that we were going to run the tower this time. It wasn't working as effectively as we'd hoped. We ended up using a bigger PVC, as you can see here. It's a 6-inch PVC as opposed to like the 4-inch. And so when my husband cut the holes, as you can see, there's a little bit of edge in here, like right in here. And when we were running our drip system down in these through the tower, it was kind of leaking out the edges and kind of dripping everywhere. And since this is in our house, we weren't sure if we wanted that much splash just all over. So even though we were going to run it over a Dutch bucket or over a big old, bucket, of course, to catch the nutrient solutions, we just felt like it might have been a bit too messy. So we're probably going to remodel that one eventually and use it, but not right now. So we've got 3 grow lights running. We've got one here, and one here. Hopefully that's going to be enough light for all our plants. We're going to test it out and see. So I'm not going to specifically go over how we built these systems. This is the nutrient solution that's going to feed our Dutch buckets. And then, like I said, this one here is going to feed our NFT system. My husband may post a video showing how we built these things. But as you can see, we have just a mini compact setup to grow all of our plants. And we're going to see how it goes. Now I'll just give you an update on my plants. I think I showed you them when I had first germinated them and when they were about 5 days old. And if you look today, they're growing quite well. Today, most of my lettuces, I'll show you this here, which is my iceberg lettuces. And here, I've got some Vivian lettuce. And here, I've got some Bib lettuce. These guys are all about 10 days old today. As you can see, they all have 3 true leaves on them. Some of them are sprouting their 4th leaf. So these guys are pretty much ready to go. If I can show you, let me try and get one out and show you that they are pretty much ready. If you look at the bottom here, you can see how I've got a few roots sticking out the bottom of the plug. About 5 or 6 nicely colored white roots. That pretty much indicates that these guys are ready to go. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to put them in our system today. Our system is ready, but they say you can put them in when they have 2 to 3 true leaves and are about 2 inches tall, or you can wait till they have 3 or 4 true leaves. So I would say they are ready. Most of them have the roots sticking out, and they all have at least 3 true leaves on them. I might give it another few days before I put them in our system, though. These two lettuces here I planted on the 28th, so I did them a few days, maybe 3 or 4 days after the others. So these ones aren't quite ready. They just barely have the 2 leaves, and the same thing with these ones back here. These ones are Tom Thumb lettuces, and I also germinated them almost a week later. So those guys are not ready to go yet. They'll stay in the nursery a little bit longer. And then if you look here, I have my tomato plant. Now it looks a little stretchy. I'm not sure. I've been germinating them all around the same temperature, and I know tomatoes and pepper plants prefer to be just a bit hotter. So I don't know if this little guy stretched out because of that reason, but otherwise it looks pretty healthy. As you can see here though, I have another little sprout that actually is coming up underneath this this tomato plant. I'm going to actually take that out. I didn't see that until like probably late yesterday evening, so I didn't realize there was another little guy trying to germinate under there, but I did put in a couple of seeds, so they both ended up germinating, but I'm going to take that one out. And then here's my pepper plant here. I'm going to do sweet bell peppers, and that's that plant there. Again, as you can see, I have a little tiny sprout coming up underneath that pepper plant as well that I noticed probably a couple days ago. I was not 100% sure if I wanted to keep this pepper plant. It didn't look great yesterday. Its little leaves were all curled up the whole day. And if you look at the very, very tips of them, it looks like it's starting to yellow a little bit, which is probably indicative of a little bit of a nutrient deficiency. I've only been feeding my lettuces like a half-strength nutrient solution. I think my pepper plant needs a little bit more nitrogen, so I'm gonna boost up the nitrogen on my pepper plant and give it a little bit more nitrogen and see if I can get rid of that little teeny bit of tip burn that's starting to form there. Or I may just scrap him, the big guy, and use my little baby, and use my little baby that's coming in right here and see if he looks any better. I haven't decided yet, but they look fairly healthy other than that. So I just wanted to give you guys an update so you can see. I see that I've got a fan blowing on my lettuces. They like to have some airflow, so I've got a fan running, as you can see. That's kind of keeping them cool a little bit. So other than that, I think I'll come back and give you guys an update once these lettuces get put into our systems so that you can see how they're growing from there. I'll probably show you how I transplant them into the system, and we'll keep documenting as they grow, and I'll let you know how they do. In this container here, I am trying to re-germinate some spinach. I tried to germinate spinach with my original lettuces that were done here about 10 days ago, and I didn't get anything to come up. I'm not sure why none of my spinach germinated, so I'm trying again a different method. This time I decided not to use the rapid rooter plug and try germinating with just a wet paper towel. Keep it really moist and humid and see if that will work. So I'll let you know if I am successful with my spinach, but so far I have not been successful germinating spinach. So thanks for tuning in with us, and we'll be back with some further updates. Bye.